Hello everybody. Angie here. I'm coming on to do a craft with me session. I'm still working on my UFO pile, and we completed that last journal and we are on to the next project. So I grabbed this journal cover. Okay, and I have been studying it, trying to think of what I want to do with it. I think I initially wanted to do some type of like a fall theme. But fall's about over. We're going into December. We're going into winter, and Christmas and New Year's and different things. And I really, honestly, I don't need another fall journal. So, what I thought about doing is doing like a children's themed journal. Probably since the signature is about 2 inches. I'm thinking just 2 signatures because I really honestly don't have a lot of children's stuff, you know, that because I've been looking through all my things and I really don't, I thought I did, but I really don't have that much. We can make it work, I think, for a good 2 signatures and get the base and the structure down and go from there. But that's what I was thinking. So along that line, I grabbed one of these books. And I want to keep it kind of vintagey. And I was like, you know what? Let's do something with this. This could be fun. And do it more like, what do I want to say? Like we do the little golden books. Keep the book intact and then just add pages and decorate them and so forth like that. So I thought we could do that with this Dick and Jane book. It should work, right? The only thing that I was thinking is the way that this book is sewn in. Now, I don't know, it looks like stitches, but once I get to pulling them apart, I don't know how well they're going to come apart. So it's all going to depend on that. If the pages will be intact, I do think I'm going to have to trim maybe a 1/2 inch off, because if you look at that, it does meet right up, and it actually kind of sticks out just a sliver. And once we sew it in, it's probably going to stick out maybe about 1/8 of an inch, I would imagine. So I think I am going to have to trim this down, the pages, a tad bit. But we're going to get started, and we're just going to do our best, or I'm going to do my best, should I say. Okay, so how is everybody doing? I hope everybody is well. I am doing good. I don't know how many pages this either. So I'm just going to gently, I don't know, try to take this apart. And let's just see what we get. Might be a little tedious, this part, but I told you I'd take you through with me and share my process and all that good stuff. I almost just want to kind of rip it. Yeah. See, and that's, we're going to have to clean that up. So I'm going to keep this because I think I want to use that image there and that image there. Maybe we can even use some of the text. I'm going to try and save as much of this book as I can. And we're just going to dress it up. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the middle. Take a look at the middle. I think they're going to be individual pages, and that's what I was kind of nervous about. I was hoping they'd be, you know, 2-sided pages, because now I'm going to have to figure out a way to put them together, which we'll have to use like washi tape or something. Yeah. Let's separate it here in the middle. Some of them might be together. We never know. I don't know. I don't know what you call this kind of stitch. I'm not that involved with bookbinding to where I know these different kind of Copic. I've heard some of the terms and the words, but I don't don't know them when I see them. So let's see what we got here. And also, while I'm doing this, just to, so it's not completely quiet, I thought I'd share with you guys, this is probably, I'm not done with my stack, but this is probably the last project of the year that I'm going to be able to get done. I was hoping at least get through that stack, but I forgot about Defemember, and I had to make a journal cover, and that starts next week. So I'm going to have to spend a little, you know, focus on that. And I don't think I'm going to have time to do it all. So after this project here, Defemember is going to take over my time. All right, these are, yeah, see, these are like, well, they're coming apart fairly well. I'm not having to destroy the pages at all, so that's good. I don't think we need a table of contents. I will keep these images. Again, hopefully we can use those and incorporate everything as much as possible in this book, this journal. Now, I kind of thought this is what was going to happen, so I grabbed some washi tape, and it was the only one that I had that I thought might pair with this theme halfway well. All my washi tape is, you know, vintage style and gold and foil, and I don't necessarily want it to look all Christmassy and holiday-ish, just more vintage, so hopefully it will pair nicely. It's the only one I have. Got all these little glue bits off of here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Came apart nicely. Just individual pages, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, now, do I put the pages together like this? Or do I put page, blank page, book page, blank page, book page, blank page? I guess we'll just keep the story intact, and we'll do it like so. All right. Let me decide how much I want to cut off. I guess cutting it off the inside edge is the best. For the most part, it looks like I have a little bit of room, except that image I'll have to trim off a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, so for the most part, I think we'll be safe. All right. So let's do some trimming. And I'm going to take off almost 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I'll do that to all of them. I'm just going to do a couple at a time because I don't want my blade to slip and then I have a mess. Okay. Oops. Lose a teeny bit of the image on these ones. Like we said, I'm going to lose a little bit here and there, but shouldn't be too bad. And then when the washi tape goes over it, lose a little bit, but try to keep it to a minimum. All right, last ones. All right, that's the book trimmed up. All nice and even. Love it. Okay, let me grab my washi. And here's what I found. This one here, and it's got the same colors that are in the book. Red, blue, green, yellow. So I thought that would suffice, and hopefully, it's almost a new roll, looks like. Pretty full. Hopefully that will be enough. I'm hoping. I'm going to do one side, and then I'll come back and do the other side. Just like that. And I think I got this from the Dollar Tree, actually. So if I run out, I'm hoping I can shoot to the store and be able to pick up another roll. My luck, they won't have this one, but we're gonna hope for the best. Try and get it right in the middle. See, that goes, huh? That's nice, and I like that. Okay. And because it's washi, let's see how the other side looks. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it all the way around. We definitely don't want our piece to fall apart. I'm just putting a little glue on the top and the bottom. Make sure that sticks. And just a little bit of glue. down the middle. Yes, that looks good. Okay. And of course we'll have to trim some off of this side, maybe because you know how the pages push outward. But yes, isn't that nice? Okay, let's keep going. That's one. I don't know that this tape will be enough, but we're going to get as many pages as we can done and go from there. Over we go. A little glue. Good crease. Yeah, I think that's going to be nice. If this goes well, I may have to next year pull out some golden books, little golden books, and do one of those. I haven't done one of those in forever. I have a few of them. I like to get 2 of each book when I'm doing those type of books, and then use one for the pages, and then the second book used for decorating. But it's kind of hard to find 2 of the same book, you know? 2 Little Red Riding Hoods, or 2 whatever it is. It's quite difficult. It's hard to get a hold of those little golden books at all anymore. I don't know, I think the thrift stores and stuff now, when they come in, they're keeping them from themselves because you don't find them on the shelves too much anymore. So I think they're taking them for themselves. Just using my grid here to keep the pages straight. That one slipped on me a little bit. There we go. So you guys have your decorations up yet? Your Christmas decorations? I did mine the day after Thanksgiving. I did good this year. I usually do it either the day after or the weekend of. So if I get behind on that next day for whatever reason, then I still have the weekend to get it done. And I got it all up on Friday. The only thing I have not done is hang the wreath on my door. I can't find my wreath hanger that you hang on the top of the door. So I haven't been to the store yet. I guess I'm gonna have to pick up another one. I do not know where. Cannot find it to save my life. Had it last year. Frustrating. But that's the only thing I don't have up. Everything else is nice and festive around here. And this week I plan on trying to sit down, and that's another reason why this is going to have to be the last project that I focus on a lot of my time on. So I got to sit down and do my Christmas cards and get those out. I like to have those out by the 7th. So I'll just sit down and do that. Okay, oh, just 2 more. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like there's an extra page. Ooh, so I'm going to have to put a blank page with that, won't I? That's odd to have an odd numbered page, but probably because I didn't put the table of contents in there. I don't know. I've never had that happen. They've always been even numbers. So now I need to find a piece of paper to go with this last page. I'm glad I didn't run out of washi. Okay, so let's see, I need a piece of paper. And I have some that I was planning on using. I think I'm going to, I grabbed a whole bunch of papers. Oh, something stuck to this. I think I'm going to use this one. This was a gifted piece of craft paper from my friend Anna G. And since it's nice and colorful, I thought I wanted to just use that in the journal itself, cut it in half, and then have one in each signature. Because I love the colors and the contrast and stuff on there. But I need a piece to go with this. So, just tear that in half. It's nice and sturdy too. Which page side do I want to use? Let's use this one. Oh, it's not the same size either. Okay, so we have to go this way. And I'm just going to do it right in the middle. So I want all that loveliness in there. So let's just trim that down. those would be pretty. I better hold on to those cut-offs. Okay, so we'll do it like this. Okay. Drop my glue here. Very nice. So 31. How does that work? 31. Because it's on this side. Oh, let's see. I didn't think about that. Like I said, it's usually even pieces. Let me see if I can pull this washi up before it dries too well. Find the end of it. There it is. Ooh, it's on there good. Hold on, I'm gonna have to work with this a little bit. Okay, I got it up. Pull it up slowly so I don't tear my paper. This one's coming up a little bit, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. All right, 7, 8, let's make sure. 10, 13, 14. Watch me go through all that and then it was fine. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Yeah, it's got to be glued, taped on this side. So, all right, so it's got to go this way. Alrighty. I think it moved on me a little bit. There we go. There we go. So page 31. That's the last page. Here we go. Very nice. I like that. Very good. Okay, so now we can sew it in. Now, let's put this aside along with the cover. We'll come back to that. And let me share with you some of the paper choices that I had that I thought would blend well. And then we'll probably stop there. Let's see. I have, let's put these aside for the moment. And some of these are out of the UFO stack as well. Now, for blank paper, instead of doing coffee dye paper, I thought let's go with the color theme of the nice pastels. I have some green and some pink. Green for boys and pink for blue, or pink for girls. So I grabbed some of those, and I thought we would alternate and use a few of these sheets. So I'm just gonna, while I have them in my hand, I'm gonna fold them. I'm going to do four of each. Start there, and then we're going to have to count and see how many pages we've got. Let's do 6, 4. 5. So then 3 of each will go into a signature. And if I need more, we can always get more. Okay, there's 6 pinks. And we'll do 6 green. Speaking of Christmas cards, I'm sitting here thinking about Christmas card list while I'm folding these papers. Last couple of years I got involved with a group on Facebook that asks you to donate Christmas cards, you know, so they can send them out to people that don't have you know, that live alone or what have you. And that was a lot of fun. I didn't participate in this year. I forgot, actually. But that was a lot of fun. Brought me a lot of enjoyment making those cards and shipping them out. I think I made 50 the last 2 years and shipped them out. Okay. So let's do 3, 3, 3, and 3. Okay. Then I have a piece of acetate. I thought that would be fun just to put in the journal. But I only have one of them. So we'll put that aside and I'll think about that for later. Okay, then I have envelopes. So I thought 1 and 1. Nice big envelopes. These were gifted to me by my friend Sean. Love you, Sean. Thank you so much. Okay. Then I grabbed, what else do I have here? Oh, I've got some coloring pages. So I grabbed a couple of drawing coloring book pages. And these are just the adult ones, but I thought it'd be fun just to keep it simple. So I grabbed 2 of those. One for each signature. And then I have, put that aside for right now. I had a couple of these nursery rhyme pages. I thought we'd put 1 in each. How do I want to fold these? If we do it this way, we'll get the image. If we do it this way, we'll get more of the poem. So what is more important? I think the poem, because more than likely, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the poem. So I'm going to fold it this way. We'll still get some image. Some of them will be folded over. Okay, we got most of it. Okay, so we got that. Then I had this pretty page, and it's a big one. So I thought we'd cut this one in half and then put 1 of each. I just like the color. So let's see, this is 11, almost 11. So 5 and a half. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, there we go. So then we'll have 1 of each of these for some smaller pages. Okay, then I have some vellum scrap, and I thought we'd go ahead and use this up. I got a smudge on there, but let's cut this down. I'm going to use a couple vellum pages as well. Let's see what I got here. Looks like about a 6-inch piece. It could be a small page. And let's cut that smudge off of there. Probably end up covering it up anyway, huh? Let's do that. I'll go ahead and cut it off. Okay, and I didn't measure that, so I'll have to go back and measure it. Okay, so we've got 2 odd size vellum pages. Then I grabbed some fun designer series pages. I've got a piece of glitter paper here. I thought it's just scrap. Thought I'd cut that down. And maybe we could get 1 of each, get a small page in there. even up that. Okay, and this is 12 by 12, so we'll just cut it down at 6. And that might go with the glitter paper quite well. We'll see. This is kind of brittle because of the glitter. See how it folds if you've dealt with glitter paper. That happens. All right, so one of each on that. And then I have just some other 12 by 12s. Let me move this out of the way. Put these stacks off to the side. All right. Some green. It's pretty orange paper. It's designer series paper. This is thinner paper, where this is actual cardstock over here. Some polka dots. Just some fun pages I thought would go nicely in there. And blue. Okay, so now let's cut these down. And I did not measure the size of my pages, so let's take a moment and do that. 5 3/4 by almost 9. So 9. Let's use that as a guide. Okay. Okay, now I can use this as a guide. Okay, so one in each of there, and then these two, we'll do one of each. And then we're going to count and see how many we've got, because I don't know where we're at as far as pages. I could just fold that lip over too. Didn't think about that until just now. Okay, so one of each. And then I've got this. I'm going to keep these cut-offs. Hopefully we can use those. Just pockets and tags. Okay, and then this is 12, so I'm just going to cut this right in half at 6. And do one of each. Okay. So, let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's going to be too many. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus the book pages. I think that's going to be too many. So we need to shorten that list. Let's remove the cardstock. We could always use that in the decorating process. And that's thick anyway. Okay. And I'm thinking maybe even this. I like having some odd shaped pages in there. Maybe we'll lose that. Use that for decorating as well. I think I want to keep the envelope in there because that's kind of thick and bulky. I'm just trying to think. And I guess we'll do away with those. All right. Let's see. Now we've got to put the pages together so we keep the story intact, right? All right, so we'll start with maybe a fun cover page, maybe this. And then, oh, we got to break this up too, huh? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right, so 3 is going to have to go on one and 4 is going to have to go on the other. So we'll put 4 on the back end and 3 on the front end. And since there's one short less here, we'll bring one of these papers back in. And I'm going to bring this one back in. Okay, so let's start with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to pull that back out. 6. 7, 8, 9. Let's see, we got paper, book, writing, that there. Okay, so then that, and then that, and then that. Okay, trying to keep them in sequence here. And I'm going with the green first. So put the green on top. And then the pink. And then a decorative page. We'll do the vellum. And we'll do the pocket. And then we'll do the last page. And that. And then we'll have to trim that. Let's see. Okay, let's look that over. That works good because the green next to that tree. That looks good together. Okay, I like the layout of that one. Okay, so let's get the other one the same. And we have one less page on this one. So we started with that one, so we'll start with the blue, because the first page here, she's got a blue dress on. I went with book page yet. Oh, okay. So we go with this. And we'll go with 2 of these. And I'm going to reverse those and put the pink on top on this signature, I think. Just to have a little difference. There's a little pink on that bedspread, so that works. Okay, so then that, and then what did we do next? We did a coloring book page. And then a book page, and then a pink, and then green, and what was next? Disney, and then pink and green. Pink, green, and envelope, and vellum, and this then I think, vellum, envelope, and book page. And then here, and then here. Yep. Okay, I like it, I think. Let me just browse through this signature to make sure it's okay. 1920. Okay. Very good. Those are ready to get sewn in. All right, where are we at on time? Oh, we better stop. Okay, we'll stop there. We've got our papers lined up, and we'll get that sewn in to the journal on the next video and go from there. Okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you found something of value and enjoyed yourself today, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.